Break these logs down here a little bit. Everything here is beyond the point of sound. Uh, at first, you hear basically two different sounds, whether you need more fuel or less fuel during your cranking. But everything I've got here is a little bit beyond that, and it's from the driver's seat. It would feel like very good startups, all of them. But we can break it down and see the little technical glitches through it. This one, as I'd shown in earlier in the video, it's using the different strategies, using what strategy I put together, which is here. It's the custom idle air control. I believe this is a log from the last video of a startup. It was in the 35, 36 degree range. And what I want to see is I'll go to the idle cold start, and all I want to see in the beginning is the AFR. Once you look at these enough, you can tell by the form, although it look a little bit different on different engines, but it's basically the same. But the things I'm looking at, and over here on the left, will be after start enrichment, sometimes coolant enrichment, timing, IAC position, coolant temp, and RPM. Crank to run has been changed through here, so sometimes you'll see it. You'll see it at different levels. I like to try to run these around with a minimum timing limit of around 10 or 11 degrees. If I see something going on, sometimes I'll change that. And here I put it back to where it would be on a -5, which is about where it would be on a stock computer. All the closed loop will be using the custom setting also. Okay, here we go. Looking for the first measurable RPMs. There's 84. That's the first one it measured. And I believe crank to run on this particular log will set in the 10 or 12 degrees. I'll set that anywhere from 10 to 15, depending on what it needs. Right there, the engine's running. It's actually transitioning to the run. That's well under 1 second. That's probably more like a half a second. So it's a very, very quick start at a 36 degree coolant temp. Very, very quick. 2 seconds will be pretty normal on a lot of newer cars. Come down this switch, I don't really want that. Not that you would notice it anywhere other than a log. You're not going to feel it in the car. But I don't really want that switch. So what I would need there is I would look at the O2 sensor is not online yet, so we can't use it. It's warming up. And I do that on a lot of these logs. I'll wait for it to warm up some. So across the top you'll see some changes, and that's just switching it on and off because it's not running that much of a prime shot. So if it sits too long while I'm waiting, I'll switch it on and off again. But anyway, as far as here, I'd like to power through that spot by adding a little bit of cranking fuel, which probably 1% might do. After start's kicking in, after start kicked in about, right, it's starting to kick in here. And between that and cranking fuel, it should push it on down lower into the actual, right along in here to where we would normally read it. And there I've got about, O2 sensor may not be fully up, but it's 17 as AFR that I'm seeing, and anything above 14 per additional 0.5%, I would add probably 1% after start enrichment. That would clean that up a little bit, but it does come down to the actual switch. Down in this area, it's getting really close. That's the zone where I'm going to make the judgment. A lot of this is done in averages. It's not done in exact figures, and we can't do like you would in other areas and just go by target, just AFR versus target AFR, because it hasn't had time to run. Got to allow it a few seconds. Here we're coming over. That's about the point where I would start to see the AFR. We can actually measure it against the target AFR. That's a little rich, but it's running perfect with that. So I won't bother it. Some of this has to be done by feel, and we can see that after starting to time out. It's timing out somewhere around in here. Yeah, that's where it's timed out. The rest of this will be have to go to coolant enrichment to change that. This is, I believe, to be the same log after I made the correction. First RPMs measured. After starts come in, so that's at that point it's actually making the handoff from cranking to run. Very quick start. Now this time it ran all the way down. That's what I like to see. Right along in here, I'll compare it to the target AFR, or at least it's in between 12.5 and 14. If it goes higher than 14, that's where I add the 1% for every 0.5 point. I'll do the same if it goes under 12.5. I'll subtract it out. You see, that's really close. Really close now, and it runs enrichment on out. And here I see the enrichment end, so it didn't complete it, but it's doing really good on that. Go to a higher temp band. Measuring RPMs there. Going up, it's already into run. Right there, it's into run. 408 RPMs. IAC parked is 44. That's pretty good. If it was lean, I might lower that a little bit more. That's the spot where I'll check it. That little loop, switch back, try to center it up roughly. See, it's very close. It might go with another point. Or it could split that between crank and after start, but I'd probably go on this one since 220 is just into the 220 to 40 band, I would probably just go with 1% of the after start on that one. And let's see, after start's very short. It probably only goes to their little band here. Really good start, doesn't it? 212 degrees. Hopefully you start to see these shapes. First RPMs. Goes to the 280 there. Wideband's not online. We can't use it. Here's where it falls back. That I don't really want to see. I probably would go with some more cranking fuel on that, 1 or 2% to kick it past it. IAC position's not that high. And I'm also looking at this RPM at the highest point. I'm shooting for from about 14 to 16, a little more or less. If it goes over to 16, I'm going to pull some IAC part position out, and if it hangs around in that area and it's kind of a lazy spot there, I'll probably put a little more in it. That's the spot where we would measure it, and that's pretty much perfect to target AFR and the 12-5-14 rule that I'm using. That's where I was switching it back, probably because of the trying to heat the wideband. RPMs. Pretty quick on that. It's running down into a switch right along in there. I would look. It's pretty lean there. Come on down a little bit more. It's still lean. So I'd probably go with 2% after start and maybe go with 1% cranking fuel. See that where that one times out, it comes somewhere over in this area. First RPMs. Goes into run. There, it's not bad. That's really a pretty good spot. See it run across, and it looks like it tapers out after start along there. Yep. You can probably notice these shapes of that's what we're looking at, and every time we're looking to make the judgment call down in this area, provided that it comes down to it quickly. We're also looking at the time. If the crank is extended, we'll go with a little more cranking fuel. But all of these are pretty quick. That's running now, transferring to a run. See, it's over in the crank. It's over in the cruise, where cruise cells of the timing map. That can cause big flares sometimes. There's really, I only got plus or minus 8 degrees on the idle time, and that has to go along with it. It's already on 37, so you can only bring it down to that 29 plus or minus. It's not a problem here. We don't have a high big spike, but it will be in some cases. A little bit lean on this one. Needs a little more after start. Pretty close. I mean, that when it's that close, probably should rerun that band. Look for try to hit it again around 66 degrees. Get another lock. .42 degrees. RPMs. Crank to run. Transition. So very quick. For 42 degree start, that's very quick going into run. It does hang a little here, so it could probably go with a point after start, but the cranking feel looked really good on it. When you get down in here, you can make a measurement against that target AFR or using the 14 AFR rule. So that's good there. .38 degrees. RPMs. That's making the handoff right there. Very quick. Under probably a half a second, it's kicking into run mode. Comes down and hangs a little bit. But not bad. Power's on down through it. Get down in here, and then I'll make the call on the after start. Probably add about 2%. If it's running 15.3 there, it could go a little lower to read that, but all these cases, it's within 5 seconds, everything is clearing up. And that's one of the things to look at, how quickly it catches itself and gets right back on track. This one, you can see easily that it had some very short, but I had a little bit of trouble there. 70 RPMs. Trying to go into run mode there. It dropping back a few RPMs. So that's where we would go with at least a little bit more cranking fuel and maybe some more after start also. Has a big fall back there, so definitely need more after start, maybe 1% crank, 2%, 3% after start. Definitely needs after start to bring it on down. Along in there, catches itself back pretty close. You can see it changing and probably timing out over in that area. .28 degrees. It's running there, a little less than 1 second to run. Needs more after start. It backed up. Lost RPMs a little, backed up. It cleaned itself up right there. 1590 RPMs is the peak. That's pretty much perfect. I'm shooting for the 14 to 1600 RPMs. If it were to go over the 16, I would reduce the park position by 1%. If it was lazy, I would add some back in. That's where I'm adding the cranking fuel. So I want to add 1% here. Offset selected. Multiply 1.01. Subtracted is 0.99. After start, this looks strange because of the custom setup. These tables are causing it to show up that way. You can see it had 85% fuel prime, and fuel pump prime duration was 2%, 2 seconds. Oh, those are really good starts. You can't always get them perfect. You go back and forth, a couple of times, and then leave it. That's because EFI switches and it's not 100% steady. So that just do the best you can with it. But like I say, all those are really close to their factory level starts on a 11-to-1 compression modified stage 3 cam. A lot of things there that don't help cold startups and after starts. I probably need to make another video and take one that's just started, just put in some numbers and show more with defects, because here there's just not that much to show you. But hopefully you can start to see those shapes and begin to learn how to read it on startups. That's what you'll see most every time. Thanks for watching. I'll put together another one and get a part 3 back here as soon as I can. Like and subscribe.